Ayo, Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash, and double honor to the apostle and elders of GreatMillStone, man. And Shalom to all the brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Just doing a quick video. Going to be going into, like how Jake, as Israelites, man, we're despised out here, man. Jake isn't really, you know, the other nations, no one out there even has a passing affection for Jake, man. So that's why Jake has so much self-hatred, and why basically the way they try and move in this realm is they're trying to blend in and assimilate with whatever cultures they're around, man. And that's been a thing that Jake's done from the beginning, man. Because Jake's been assimilating all within these other nations from way back when, man. Back in Egypt, after that generation got saved out of it by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and Moses was with them in the wilderness. A lot of them guys were wanting to go back, man. Even when it was up on the mountain, they were looking to go back. So you know, and it's through, even when they set in the land, they didn't cast out all the people in the land there. They left some of them there, and then they started going and fell into their ways multiple times. And through process of history, always, man, when the Greeks came up, they're all into that. They're all up in the Roman. You know, Jake's always done that. They've always had that self-hatred, and they've always basically looked up to and tried to assimilate into these other nations. But they don't like you, man. And that's something that you see out here, man. Because I'll see, it's like, it came to me, I was like, I saw the way some guy dealt with a faggot, then the way he dealt with me. I was like, hold on, this guy, I'm like, wow. I'm like, it's actually epic. Jake out here is on a lower level than a fucking tranny or homosexual, man. Jake are really viewed as pieces of shit out here, man. That's why, you know, that's why the way the whole society is set up is more or less just to make Jake, it's completely, everything's set against Jake, man. Let me read this, man. It says, Jeremiah 2:33, why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked one thy ways. So Jake has basically trimmed their ways. They basically when in Rome do as the Romans do, man. Jake comes out here. They basically feed into whatever systems the so-called white man's built up. That's what they'll follow after, man. And they like, that's why when we're out there on the street prophesying against these guys, they're not looking, bruv. They're not looking to come back to their power at all, man. We're telling them, look, you're a king, you're a prince. They don't want to come back to that because really they think the scriptures, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and basically being an Israelite, there's no value in that, man. They see the so-called the systems the so-called white man's created. There's more value in that. That's what these guys are basically thinking, man. And that's completely false. That's completely against the Bible, man. All this shit that Esau's built up out here, this is temporary, man. This is temporal, man. This is gonna pass. This is transitory. And really, even Jake thinking they're on the bottom and they have to suck up to the so-called white man, that's some BS. Because, you know, we're the most blessed people out here. We're blessed above all other nations, man. Remember back when I was fucking, previous place I was working, one of my co-workers said, like, oh yeah, you know, because they're black people and that, it's like, you know, because of slavery and that, you know, they're bigger and stronger. I was like, I'm like, Esau had to make that shit. Esau had to basically, because it's evident that Jake is superior to the so-called white man, he had to make up some hot mess BS garbage excuse for why he's weak. Is like, oh yeah, you know, we're just like being slave masters, but you're slaves. So that's why you guys were on the bottom. That's why you guys are strong, because you guys were lifting the boxes. That's BS though, because Jake was better, always better. Jake was always superior. That's just how we're made. I've got another one here. It says, Jeremiah 2:11, hath a nation changed their powers, which are yet no powers? But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit. And that's what Jake has basically taken off the identity of it. Israel, really, the identity was beaten off them. It was beaten off them, and now it's being brought back to the front. It's been drawn out from within, man. It's being educated to them of who they are. So they're more or less they're rejecting that. And the thing is, it's the same thing that happened when Yahushua came on the scene, man. 2,000 years ago, There were guys that basically that saw the miracles. It's like, I was thinking even like the guys that crossed over, I think from Galilee to Capernaum, when Yahushua went over on the boat. Then the crowd that ate the loaves, they came over and he said, "Look, man, did you come? What came you out to see?" Basically, you came because you ate the loaves and were filled, not because you believed, man. So even though these guys were seeing miracles, and the thing is that's how you know it's that same wicked generation as the ones that came out of Egypt. Because those guys that came out of Egypt, they saw plagues upon plagues. They saw Egypt go from the ultimate decadence to the absolute lowest basis form, and they still didn't have no faith. They were still like, "Oh, what, you brought us out here to die, Moses? What's going on? Fuck, bro, they're black pieces of shit." So it's the same thing like 2,000 years ago when Yahushua came on the scene. They're like, "Oh, well, you know, maybe just a prophet, or you know, he's just you know, he's I don't know, he's something. Maybe he's a king." They're basically if they don't know. If basically if they're not accepting that Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is that he's the main guy, and he came to and basically he's getting ready to do the smackdown out here, then really they're not in this thing, man. They're not dealing with who they really are, man. Let me read this, man. It says Psalms 10:2 says, "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous." Well, I skipped past. But anyway, let me start. "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices they have imagined." So Esau's basically devised wickedness against. He's persecuting Jake. Because he's keeping us in that base state, because he's more or less he's given Jake nigger culture, man, and nigger culture keeps him in that ignorant, stupid state. That's why it's like you have to have the Spirit of the Lord, man, because more or less them guys are them dry bones, man. They're still dry ass bones in the valley, but then it's like them bones can still live. But hey, man, 2/3 of them bones are gonna say dry, cracked, hollow, and get nuked, man. Because it's not for everyone to come into this thing, man. But hey, a lot of these guys are dry ass motherfucking bones, so they ain't got a chance. And it says, "And blesses the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth." So Esau's out here. That's why it's like, even I was watching some stupid ass video by Cosmopolitan on basically them guys in the Olympic Village having sex, and that thing's really just like the ancient what do you call it, Olympics, the Olympios or whatever it was called. It's like that was just basically a reverence for the gods as an event held to reverence Zeus and them, man. And just like with how them guys get down with them orgies and all that shit, that's the same shit they got popping off now. They just got a bunch of guys that's stuck in a village, and they give them like fucking hundreds of thousands of condoms. One guy was like, "Yeah, I've not even seen a single condom." Some guys are just going around popping left, right, and so you got homos in there, you got lead dykes in there, you got that's a hot mess, man. That's just a hot mess, man. That's a whole hot mess, man. What kind of like that? And you're uplifted, and the thing is, Esau's glorifying being a depraved, vile, homosexual, lesbian, being a fucking sexual deviant. She's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I have a boyfriend, but so you know, I'm not really looking to." But a lot of them with them boyfriends, they'll still be giving sucking fucks, man. It's just Esau just basically just do as thou wilt. That's what he's got the people under, just pure chaos, man. Just go out there and be a complete piece of shit, man. And Jake's feeding into that, man. Jake's thinking it's advantageous to be coming out here, you know, being a homosexual, feeding into all these channels Esau's building up, man. Wicked channels. Says his ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he's puffed at them. Says yeah, his ways are grievous, man, always grievous. So that means Esau can't do. So why would Edomites be getting? So why would there be Edomites in the kingdom if their ways are always grievous, man? Esau's a fucking vile piece of shit, man. He needs to get he needs to get put out, man. Says and what their judgment, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. Esau can't judge righteously. Righteous judgment is an alien concept, man. This guy talks about justice, but then it's like over here in the UK, it's like what? It's the haven for like divorce settlements for millionaires and billionaires, because them guys, it's like it starts from 50-50. So it's like it could start 50-50, and then it's like, okay, maybe she was an adulterer, so she only gets 45. That's a hot mess, man. That's the law basically said put her out with nothing, man. She ain't getting shit about give her 50. That's a complete mess, man. Let me go. I'll finish on this, man. Wisdom of Solomon 2, and start from verse 4. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. So Esau's hating on Jake because we're that righteous. It's like with Cain and Abel, man. Cain slew Abel because Abel brought the righteous sacrifice, man. And Cain was incapable of doing so. But instead of thinking like, oh, maybe he needs to fix himself, he was like, fuck that. A man slew up Abel, murked off Abel. And then was like, oh, my brother. And he lied about it. He's a piece of shit. Esau ain't thinking like, okay, maybe I did it. Esau's doing wickedness and glorying and reveling in it, man. That's why it's like oppressing Jake for him is satisfying. It brings out the true Edomite in him, man. And it says, he upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. So basically, because Jake is there as an example, is basically say, hey man, gonna be like, oh man, you guys are some fucking off creatures. Hey man, Esau, what's Esau doing on the planet Earth, man? Brother, how is promoting sex robots and transgenders? How is that forward in any kind of, how is that in any way positive? That's completely negative and destructive, man. It says, verse 13, he professes to have knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. And like Esau's even hating about that. That's why he had to steal the identity, man. Them so-called Jews had to take the identity, and then them guys are just being some heathens anyway, man. What the hell are they? Like, they're not conducting themselves in any kind of righteous manner. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. So basically, because of the way Jake moves, Jake has been different, man. That holy, man. Kadash separate. So basically, Jake's been holy from the beginning, man. And Esau's upset. He's hurt about that, man. Because we're the only ones that can be righteous, and we're the only ones that can serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. Esau's hating. He wanted that blessing. Esau got blessed. There's a fucking article saying that there was a church doing blessings on the AR-15. But like the brother said to me, it's like Esau already, his AR-15 is already blessed, man. Esau got his little blessing that he cried for. So, it's like, what's he all hurt about, man? He's got his rule, but he's still, because he knows we're the one, man. We got this, man. Like his time's limited, man. Says what? Verse 16, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. And that's how Jake used to roll, man. Jake, at one point, they could abstain from that, man. And, what was it? He said, he pronounced of the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. So, yeah, our end is just, man. Because we've got the promises, man, waiting for us. We got the kingdom. Esau, he's had his little, he's had his little fun. He's got his little playground. But that's temporary, and that's going to be gone very soon. Very soon, man. One more thinking. But no, I'll leave it there. So all that, this basically, Esau's a hater, man. Jake is the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduce him. Because Jake is the righteous. Jake is the excellency of the earth, man. So, I'll say, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. Bashem Makakadash. Double honor to the apostle holds a great millstone, man. Shalom.